Hey Ahmed, welcome. Very cool from Egypt. Very cool. I'm gonna start in a few minutes. Just let people trickle in. I'm also a little rusty with the live streaming, so I'm just messing about with the live stream stuff here. But yeah, welcome. If anyone's on, can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me okay, if there's too much noise, if you can see the screen. Neelam! Hello! Hi Neelam! Good afternoon to you. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. Great to see y'all. Wow. Where's everybody calling from? So Ahmed's in Egypt. I know where Neelam is. I know, that's right. And that's something I'll talk about. That's definitely something I'll talk about in today's live stream. Where I've been, why I haven't been making any videos. Philly. Hell yeah. Cool. Yep, this live stream will also be up on the YouTube channel afterwards, so if you can't stay for the whole thing, no problem. If you do stay to the end, I will show a preview of the self-paced masterclass that I'm super excited to show. Basically the whole reason why I haven't been on YouTube for I don't know, almost 3 or 4 years now. So a lot of blood and sweat and tears into that thing. All right. Yeah. Ooh-wee. How's everybody doing today? Thanks for joining me on a Saturday, by the way. Okay, I'll give it about 2 more minutes. We'll start at 9:05, 12:05 for y'all on the East Coast. All right, let's get it started then. Well, I'm a little rusty with the live stream. I'm a little rusty on YouTube, but I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for joining today for the live stream. Yeah, it's me, Kevin. I'm alive, alive on YouTube. So thank you everyone for joining today. The people who are here. First things first, and let me know if you can see my screen. I know you can hear me, but can you see my screen? I'm going to share some slides, and I'll adjust the little picture of me to be a little smaller. Okay. There. Ooh. I see a little on my screen. I see a bit of lag from what I adjust the screen and then to the live stream. So it's pretty gnarly. Anyway, welcome, lovely researchers, designers, aspiring researchers, badass UX leaders, all of you, to the live stream where I describe what I've been doing. Where's Kevin been on YouTube, or rather outside of YouTube? You see the topics here. What happened? You know, what's with Zero to UX? What's with the YouTube channel? We'll talk about the state of user research. And then I'll go into the masterclass info session. So even if you're not interested in doing the masterclass, I wanted to do a little show and tell for basically the reason why I haven't been on YouTube. So I'm really excited to show you a little bit more about that. If you stay towards the end, I'll show you even a preview of one of those lessons from the self-paced class. Hey Abby, yay! Good to see you. Good afternoon to you. All right, so let's see. I hope you're all excited. So let me know in the comments, who are you, where you've been, where you're calling from. I see someone from Egypt, someone from Philly. That's really awesome. So let me know where you're all from and where you're all in your UX research journey. Are you already doing UX research? Are you aspiring? You're thinking about it? You're learning? Are you in product? Are you design? Let me know. Always nice to see who's who here. So while you're doing that, let's move to the next slide. Let's talk about where have I been? Toronto. Yay. Abby's Abby and Neelam, they're alumni from the masterclass. I'm so happy to have them here, and they're awesome, badass UX leaders for sure. So, where has Kevin been? It's not lost on me that when I look back at my YouTube channel, the last video I made was with Brian St. John of the Federal Reserve Bank. And we had a great conversation. Turns out the government, or at least the U.S. government departments, like the Federal Reserve Bank, does UX. So it's really interesting to see different people from different industries, not just tech, hire UX researchers. And actually, one of the alumni from our masterclass got a job offer at the Federal Reserve Bank. So very awesome. But the sad thing is, I look at this description here and it says 3 years ago, and in 15 days it would be 4 years ago. So I'm actually really a little embarrassed, and not a day goes by where I don't think about making YouTube, because I still get comments on the videos. So I see you commenting, asking questions, and I feel like I should be there, and not a day goes by without me thinking about it. The irony isn't lost on me, though, because my old YouTube banner used to say this: new videos every Tuesday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, which I find funny because I used to have a series called Method Mondays, but they came out on Tuesdays. So I've since updated this banner. Thank you, Canva. Canva's a great tool for making new banners. I kind of took that out. Maybe now I should put the banner saying new videos every once in a while. Every once in a while. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that I will be returning to YouTube after I finish this self-paced class. I promise myself and the followers, all of you lovely researchers, that I will finish the self-paced class in 2024. If you've been following me, you know I announced the self-paced class since 2021, and I overpromised. Life happened, and I wasn't able to deliver. But I'm glad I didn't launch it back then, because I don't think it was ready. So it's going to age like fine wine. Well, thank you, Naj. I hope I'm saying your name right. Naj. You go to UX YouTube Mentor. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a badass UX leader. So while I've been gone, the last logo I had used on these videos, you can see kind of the progression outside of YouTube, what has happened. This was the original logo. I literally created that in Google Slides. It took me about 5 minutes. And this was how my lighting camera setup worked. And I know a lot of people, they recognize this background. It took me a lot of time to set up that background for my recordings, and I had a lot of fun. It was actually because I was procrastinating to make a YouTube video, and I was like, oh, I need a background, oh, I need lights, oh, I need a nice camera or whatever. And my sister was like, just do the dang videos. So I gotta thank my sister for just pushing me to start the videos, and here I am. A little upgrade to the logo, not much, but you didn't see much of that because I kind of left YouTube shortly after. And then you'll see a little bit more of the videos in the preview today. Here's the new logo, new brand, Zero to UX. And there's my cat. I rescued this little kitty. His name's Harry, from a bush earlier this summer. And he appears in some of my videos. You'll get to see them maybe if they come in. Yeah, that's a little of what has happened with Zero to UX. Here's Kevin outside of UX. I should also explain why I haven't been on YouTube. Why was the Federal Reserve Bank video the last video I made? I think I remember that time was during the pandemic, or at least shortly afterwards. And got laid off because of the pandemic, and I get stuff together. I'm sure it was a difficult time for many people. I get stuff together, work on the class, find a new job. So I kind of put a damper on YouTube videos. And I'll tell you what, to be honest, social media was it is a lot of work. So I really admire people who could do it consistently without stopping. Yeah, I love doing it, and I ask myself sometimes, why do I do it? Why do I do these YouTube videos? And it's because of people like you who want to learn, who have questions about the field. And I remember when I was in your shoes trying to transition to UX research, and I was like, there's so much content, but like, where's the content that is rigorous? Where's the UX research content? So yeah, that's the reason I make these things are for you. And you, the followers, the badass UX leaders, the alumni, everybody, you keep me going, honestly, because there are some days where I'm just like, I should just not come back to YouTube. I left, did an Irish goodbye, and it was easy, but I can't stop thinking about you. So that's why I'm here, just making more content, better content, I hope, and more updated content. So that's why. So thank you all for pushing me to keep going. All right, here's me outside of YouTube. Here's what I've been doing, just a little bit of travel, making videos, traveling to random places to make videos. In fact, this second picture is me in front of a B-17 bomber plane, and one of the previews I'll show you later is me literally going to an air museum to record a clip in front of it, related to UX research, by the way. Some travel, went to Portugal last year, just trolling around in the gym. Been doing a lot of car stuff. You saw me post this on my Instagram. I was recording a video after messing about my car, and I touched my face with it. I didn't realize, and I recorded a whole video with a big oily smudge on my face. So there you go, the struggles. But yeah, these little cuties, they are Harry, the black kitty, and then Hermione, from big Harry Potter fans. So yeah, we found them in a bush, rescued them in a bush. Super cute, and maybe they'll appear later as guests. Yeah. Does anyone else have kitties, or a cat fan or dog fan? Cats or dogs, or both? Let me know in the comment. Alright, so that's where I've been. Let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything else you want to know, where I've been. But let's move on to the state of user research. Let me know in the comments if you are currently in the UX research career, or if you're looking into the UX research career, what you've seen recently over the past year or two. If you have gone anywhere on LinkedIn, if you kept up with the news, you'll see that there has been a lot of layoffs in the tech world. And that, when I'm speaking with more aspiring UX researchers these days, one big concern is this still a good job? And that's what I want to talk about. Now, if you're part of my email list, I sent an email out talking about the state of user research and what my thoughts are. So if you saw my email, this is nothing new, but I'd love to discuss it if you are here for the first time. Okay. Okay. A lot of layoffs, and this topic probably requires its own video itself, but no secret, last year, this year, it's been rough. There's a few bumps along the road in the tech market, and I'm sorry if anyone has been affected personally, but I have high hopes and for the future. It's not the end of user research, as some people may have called it. I think it's just an evolution. And the more I think about it, the more I realize that researchers, product managers, these roles are kind of the evolution of each other. So that's why in the class I try to make it a point to think more like a product manager as a researcher. So if you haven't seen articles about the kind of the scary parts of the market, I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you're not seeing those, because those are more reactive. It's easy to react to layoffs, but I have a few reminders for you, and I took the time to kind of chop up some graphs for you, because hey, we're researchers here, right? Before I show that, actually, with the tech layoffs, there are a lot of roles being laid off, not just UX research. My previous team, we had a team of about 15 UX researchers, senior managers, and nobody got affected. The thing is, if you hear a lot of layoffs about UX research, it's probably because your connections are all UX research. So there's a little bit of a confirmation availability bias there. There are teams out there not affected, but they kept quiet. Maybe because of survivor's guilt or something like that. What we could do is just help each other. And UX research, if you look at the history of it, has been evolving for the past 80 years. It started off in ancient times. And it really came to fruition in World War II. Human factors engineering evolved to more ergonomics, then usability engineering, and to its more current form today. And it's still evolving. So there's a lot more new technological updates to the tech stack, like AI, generative AI. Still a misunderstanding of what UX research really is. And that all kind of culminates to these stories that you might hear about layoffs. But I want to give you some hope, at least by showing some data. This is the graph of layoffs up until 2023. This is from layoffs.fyi. Last year was tough. This year also tough. We just heard a lot of people from Spotify getting laid off. But I want to overlay this with the stock market, because a lot of companies are based off the stock market. A lot of their business success, right, is funding, generating funding. So I want to overlay these together and show you that the layoffs are a reaction to the stock market. Stock market dips, no funding, less funding. Companies try to react and adapt in a way, but layoffs eventually end up happening. It actually sucks that layoffs is kind of the norm. It's weird. You hear another layoff these days, and it's kind of numb. It's kind of numbing these days, which sucks. But you ever wonder why not executives just take a pay cut? Yeah. And it also goes with the federal interest rates. Right? Interest rates rise, also kind of correlated with the layoffs. So hopefully this kind of chart, these numbers show you that this is an economic problem. It's not a problem of UX research, because there are data from, this is a survey from user interviews, that shows that there are more teams hiring for UX researchers, more than ever. And not too long ago, one of the oldest companies, one of the oldest tire distributors in the USA, called me and they're like, "Hey, can you teach us UX research?" So they're almost a 100-year-old company, and they're finally jumping on the bandwagon. So it's promising. More teams are hiring their first researchers, and more teams are hiring more researchers. So let the market correct itself, and it's still a great career, I believe. Am I biased? Sure. Maybe it's an evolution in the titles that we use, but yeah. One of the things I mentioned in my email was also, sure, Kevin, yeah, you told us the logical reason that UX research isn't, down to dumps, but it doesn't change the fact that it's hard to find a job, right now, or I still need a job. And I tell people who ask about UX research, who want to transition to UX research, look, if you need to pay the bills today, you're looking for a job, right? If you love UX research, if you looked at the field of user research and you say, hey, I think this is a great career, that's the goal for the long term. If you need to pay the bills, you're looking for a job. If you love UX research for the development, the product and service development, the research, the learning, the self-growth, that's a career. I don't think there's a better career than UX research. And we have to find the right balance between a job, that's to pay the bills, and the right career, and that's what you enjoy. We're not all privileged to have that choice all the time. I know, because I used to sleep in my car. I know what it was like. So, but I knew UX research was just something I love, and what I love more is educating now. So please don't blame yourself. Hey, Evan, good. Yeah, thanks for joining. Yeah, I've spoken with a lot of talented researchers who are affected by the layoffs, and they question themselves. But I'm like, no, don't. You're awesome. Don't blame yourself. It's economics. And ask yourself. One of my alumni asked me, he took some time off to do some freelancing, and now he wants to do the UX research. And I asked him, if the market was no factor, is UX research still something you're passionate about? Right? If so, it's a promising future. Think more for the long term. More companies are hiring UX researchers for the first time. This segment is growing. Short-term goals can conflict with long-term ones. Right? So stick with it for the long run. And for those of you looking right now, I'm here to help. I hope to make a lot more content to help you through the career change, the transition, the career growth. So you got this. And yeah, we have a great community. Badass UX leaders. In general, UX research community is super helpful. So very, very, you're in good hands. All right. So what that means is, if you are preparing to get into the industry, for your PhD program after your master's, if you're transitioning from a different field, now's the best time to kind of learn and prepare for that career that you're looking for if you're passionate about it, which is a great segue for me to get into the masterclass. But I want to know if there's any questions first before I jump into the info session. I'll give a few minutes if there's any questions here. Cool, no questions. Great. Let's keep going then. Oh, actually, question, I just saw it. Maybe it's a stream lag, probably. At Neelam says that someone has been looking for a job for a year. I noticed there are a lot of senior staff lead UX research openings. To me, that means I need to stay up to date because those leads were hired today. I love that thinking, Neelam. Yes. One of the executive roadmaps, I suppose, is getting leadership to build out UX research teams, to really believe in UX research. So if you see a company hiring leads, that's great. That's a good sign. Senior researchers leading and building the UX research organization, that's a great sign. That means someone in the organization has deemed it UX research a necessary role to be hired for. And eventually, you're going to get so much research needs that you're going to need to hire more people. So keep those in mind. That's a great strategy, Neelam. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Yep, thanks for sharing. And actually, I've been keeping up with the market in general. Sure, there are layoffs, but in the past 2 months, I've seen a lot more roles open up. So, and not just senior roles, there are a few junior roles being opened up. And now's the time to look for the internships, because the companies are going to hire the interns for the summer. So be on the lookout if you're still in a university program, PhD program. So internships, check them out. Yeah. And freelancing. Yeah, freelancing, that definitely works too. And I think Neelam has some great tips on how to find some freelance gigs. And I don't know if I mentioned, but I did work at a company called Upwork. And it's a work freelancing marketplace. It's kind of like Fiverr. And you can find jobs, like UX research jobs, on that platform. Now, I wasn't a freelancer on Upwork. I worked for like Upwork corporate. And being in that position, I was able to talk to a ton of hiring managers, a ton of job freelancers and job candidates. So I got a good view of what the interview process, the hiring process is like, and the evolution of that, especially with AI in the game now. So ask me any questions. I will provide some more videos soon about what hiring managers look for, especially in the age of AI, and like how to spot AI resumes and how to use AI on your resumes. So yeah. Has anyone played with AI yet? And let me know how you've played with it in the comments. Okay, let's move on to the masterclass. Okay, this portion is, if you're not interested in taking the masterclass, that's okay. Think of it, consider it more like a show and tell. Here's what Kevin has been working on literally for the past 4 years, if not longer. And I'm excited to show you. I'm a little bit nervous to show you too, because it's something that I've worked on a lot, bled, heart and soul, poured my heart and soul for the past few years. But I'm proud because I've gotten the feedback from my live masterclass students about what could be better and how I could be a better teacher. So, and if you stay a bit, I'll share a preview of the self-paced class. All right. And the reason I'm doing this info session is because I'm taking applications now. So you can go to my website. So, all right. Woohoo! Won't take too long. And I have 2 versions of the masterclass. This info session will cover kind of the contents of both. I have a live version and then a self-paced version that's going to come out next year, whenever you have the time to take it. Because I've had people from like Ireland ask me to join the class. I have people from Africa, people from Asia, but in the live class, it's on California time, so it doesn't always match up. So that's where the self-paced class comes in. All right. If you're new here, I realize I never really introduced myself. If you're new here, because the last time I left YouTube 3 years ago, I remember I only had like maybe 9,000 or 10,000 subscribers, and I just checked the subscriber count. They were almost at 28,000. So we almost tripled in the time that I've been gone. So actually, welcome. My name is Kevin. If you're new, if you haven't seen me make a new video in a while, my background was in biology and psychology, and I ended up working at all these companies, large teams, small teams, software, hardware. Went through a lot of it, all with a bachelor's degree. I did get into a master's, but I decided not to finish it because the remaining classes were expensive and the remaining classes were more around design. So I was just like, I'll do the research classes and get out of here. And yeah, the point of the masterclass I want to talk about is I started a folder. I called it UX Research Course in 2016. However, in 2016, I was only 2 years into my UX research career. I didn't have intentions on teaching. It was more a folder for myself. Whatever I was learning at the time on the job, at Volkswagen, at Google, all the mistakes I made, I put it into this folder. And just like, it's just for me to review over time. And then over time, I got more questions from people on Quora, from LinkedIn. They're asking how to get into UX research, and I'm like, I'm not an expert, but I could share my story. And it turns out a lot of the notes, a lot of the failures and successes I've had myself were kind of helpful, slightly helpful. So I started making the content on YouTube first, which you've seen today. So thank you all for being there, supporting the videos, and I'll be back with more free videos for sure. And it has led me to kind of creating this curriculum tailored toward UX research specifically, because a lot of the courses out there are UX design with a portion of it being user research. But you can definitely expand that portion into its own field, which I've now done. And I never intended to make a class. In fact, I never intended to make a YouTube video because I was like hella shy and awkward. I was never a confident camera person. If you go back to one of my first videos, like how I became a UX researcher, when I watched that video, I'm like, Kevin, you've grown so much. This career has helped me grow personally. So I'm really happy for UX research, and I'm happy that you're all in here as well for that. Okay. Now this is the portion where it sounds like I'm selling the class, but I'm not trying to sell you the class. I'm just telling you what has gone into it. I basically created a class I wish existed when I was first learning. Wanted to watch someone who knows what they're doing and do what they do, explain everything along the way, because I didn't have that when I first started. Granted, when I first transitioned to UX research, can you believe it's almost been 10 years ago? It's almost 10 years ago that I transitioned to UX research. There were fewer resources. Now there's a lot of resources, but they're not curated. And I think that's the difficulty of learning UX research, where there's too much information, sometimes redundant terminologies that can confuse you when you're learning. And so I try to take out the most important stuff, really hone in the fundamentals and beyond. And so I tried to take all this 10 years of research experience, 10 years of UX research, and really 14 years of research, because before that I was in research, and condense them into one of the longest, most in-depth UX research classes to help people master the rigors of UX, psychology, business, statistics, leadership, communication. I even updated a portion of the modules with AI stuff nowadays. And I hope to help you land your dream job, show you how to do it from scratch, especially from someone who did it without a grad degree. Not saying, if you have a grad degree, that's awesome. You're going to be in a great place to start. So things in the class will represent the years of knowledge I've accrued through self-learning, from my own failures, formal education, and just doing the damn thing in the real world, working in multiple industries, multiple companies as a junior, senior, and mid-level too. So I'm excited to show you more about it. These are comments from my colleagues in the first few weeks of my job. I love how you host workshop. That's so cool. You're an awesome interviewer. I love how you adjusted, blah, blah, blah. Welcome to the, so I'm not showing these to brag. And by the way, pro tip, always screen capture positive comments like this at work. It's going to be good for your performance review. Always screen capture them. But anyway, I'm not putting these here to brag, but to show you that you're able to show your value as a badass UX leader right off the bat like this too. And I'll teach you how to do that. And you could do this too. So far, this is the live cohorts. I've run 4.5 cohorts so far. The half cohort is my pilot cohort. And I can't thank them enough. Right? These alumni have landed research roles at these companies. I couldn't be more proud of them. I think a lot of programs will show the company logos of people even if they already work there, which I think is not so truthful. But I only put the logos if the alumni has landed the job after the class. Now, of course, I cannot take all the credit. They're all awesome in their own right. They push, they do the work, they get out there, get their skills shown. This is awesome. I've seen some really great work from the alumni. I can't thank them enough either, because they taught me how to be a better teacher, a better mentor, a better coach. And I've been improving in class each time with their honest feedback about it. So thank you to the alumni right now if you're watching, and thank you to all of them in general. So and nowadays I still keep in touch with them, have monthly alumni meets with them, and some of these people are working at awesome companies, awesome teams, and they're teaching me stuff too. It's like, oh, at our company we're doing this process. It's like, oh, tell me more about that. So really, they're leagues beyond their own skills. So yay! Give a hand to all the alumni. And this is a comment from one of them. I masked the name, but I think this is really important, because the people who come to the class, they're looking to learn, and learning we can do. Feeling confident in what you do, that's slightly different. This is I don't know if I should say the name, but one of my alumni said, started off as a junior researcher at the company, and the manager says, hey, you don't seem like a mid-level. You don't seem like a junior. You're more like a mid-level. and especially feeling more confident. So these are the comments that really keep me going to do what I do, to create this content, to create these education courses. So anyway, Abby is here. This was Abby, part of the second cohort, I think, and she's landed roles at Kijiji, Sally Beauty, Adidas as well. So big congrats to Abby for being such a badass UX leader. Yay! Here's another one from an old info session, and this is what I really want you to take away. Whether you take the class or not, whether you watch the videos only, free content is valuable still. I don't want you to feel nervous. I don't want you to feel like, oh, I don't have enough experience, so I must be a junior. Trust me, alumni have told me they've worked with senior level people at companies like Microsoft, and they tell me, and I don't know why they wouldn't lie about this, but they tell me these senior people don't ask the right questions. When a product manager says, hey, do this research, they just do it. And that's not what we do. As researchers, we're also leaders of our research. What I'm saying is, just because you don't have years of experience in UX industry doesn't make you a junior. How you solve problems, how you think about problems, how you collaborate with your stakeholders, that's what separates you from what a junior or senior is. The title doesn't really matter. The years of experience definitely doesn't matter. It's what you know and what experiences you've encountered, what learnings, what failures you've gone through. I think that is what separates what junior and senior. There's more specific logistic things to it, but at a philosophical level, that's what I think. And if you want to see more testimonials, you can go to my website, zero2x.com/masterclass, and check out what the alumni have to say. And no, I didn't pay them to say this stuff. They paid me. Okay. And so in this class, I try to cut out the BS, right? There's going to be terms that you see online, right? Atomic UX research, Luma systems, and whatever, right? they're just different names for similar processes. And if we get stuck on the semantics, or let semantics confuse us, we'll never get to really learn the core concepts. So I'll try to do that for you because I was confused as hell myself. We'll learn not just the fundamentals, but also advanced topics, like how to collaborate, how to communicate your research. Because, right, if a tree falls in the forest, it doesn't make a sound. Same can be said as if you did the research but no one takes action on it, did it really happen? So, and don't mistake fundamentals for easy. Right? I always say this. I always go back to the example of Kobe Bryant, LA Lakers, RIP, Mamba. But he was great because he focused on the fundamentals. And then only when he got really, really good at the fundamentals, he can start playing around with, fancier skills. So fundamentals is what I found missing from just even when I was learning UX research. And there should be a standard to how we do some basic UX research. I'm not saying there should be one process to rule them all, but we could start from a fundamental process and then adapt from there. And I'll share real problems, real prompts, real approaches that I've done from these companies. What works, what doesn't. Yeah, get some insider looks. And there's 2 classes. So right now, if you go to my website, zerotx.com/masterclass, I'm taking applications right now for the 20-week live masterclass. The alumni will tell you that I started off with a 16-week class, and that was too short. And I was like, oh, okay, we'll just do another week for free on me. And soon enough, I had to increase the length to 18 weeks. But that was also too short. Added more content, had more discussions, more breakout groups, making sure the class is engaged and learning. And now it's at 20 weeks. So what I want everybody to get, whether you're in a master class, whether you're in a self-paced class, whether you're watching a YouTube video, is that if you don't understand the content, I'm not teaching it right. So give me feedback, ask questions, and then I will iterate this lesson to make sure you get it so that you can apply it in your own work. All right. Self-paced class. Very awkward because I announced it in 2020. Oh, I'm going to launch in 2021. Oh, sorry. Oops. I want to launch in 22. 23. It's still not out. So, but like I said, I'm glad it's not out because I've learned so much from the live class that I could take those learnings and make it the best. Now I'm sounding like a salesperson right now. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect class, and I don't try to be perfect, but I try to be honest. So I have finished all the recordings, and by the way, for these classes, I write every lesson, I script every video, I record every video. And in the self-paced class, there's about 500 lessons, 500 videos in there, ranging from 2 minutes, 3 minutes to 20 minutes. So I'm excited to show you. This is almost done. I promised myself I'm going to get it out in 2024. And yeah, stick around a little bit. I'll show you a preview. And yeah, live masterclass. Apply now if you're interested. Ask me questions. In fact, if you're still unsure, I'll tell you a little bit more about it. 10 modules. And by the way, it used to be 9 modules. I've added some of them. Oh, Abby, thank you so much. Abby was an alumni, part of the second cohort. Reach out to her. Thank you for offering, Abby. Thank you so much. Yeah, 10 modules. The first module is just hey, let's set the stage. What's the history of UX research? Why are we here? What is it? Who is in it? What do we need to know to be a good badass UX leader? That's easy, right? And then a self-paced course, I'm going to make this a free module. Like anyone, you can just access this anytime for free. Because you don't need to pay for that. I don't think it's fair to pay for that. Second module, we start with human factor psychology. And the reason we start with this is because I don't believe that you can understand UX if you don't understand psychology. You truly can't. So that's why we start with this, understand how people perceive information from using our senses, like sight, hearing, touch, feel, or touch and feel are the same thing, but we start with the fundamentals of psychology, and then we go into product strategy, UX business and product strategy, how to plan a strategy, really how to think like a product manager. Now, I'm not going to say this is a product management module, but it's pretty close. We talk about metrics, how to track agile development. Basically, if you read a product management book, they teach this stuff. And I want all researchers to think more like product managers. Don't think more like designers. Designers are great. They're our best friends. Think more like product managers, because that's where we make the most impact, is into the product strategy. Then module 4, you can ask the alumni. This is literally 1,000 slides long. And I spent an entire year on this module, let's just say, to make it good. And that's the research process. I don't know how to show you what goes on in this module, but it's like practice. I give you pop quizzes. I give you prompts to think through. I'll make you study. I'll make you write a study plan. I'll give feedback live. And I'll make you do it again and again until you understand it. Then we talk about experimental design. Ethics, right? Something that industry researchers, you could just do research in the industry and not know about ethics, which I think is a miss. In academia, if you're in a PhD or even bachelor's program, if you're doing research with humans, you need to keep ethics like paramount importance. That's why we have ethics here. I've come to learn even some researchers with like 20 years of experience in the industry aren't aware of some of the ethics. So, me with the psychology and biology background, I was like, oh, this is obvious, but that's not obvious to everybody, which I would love to share more of. Then we'll go into qualitative research methods, statistics, and quantitative research for qualitative research. So it's not a quant. You won't you won't be a quant researcher if you take this class. This is definitely a qualitative leaning class, but I'll teach you enough statistics and quant methods to be dangerous. Okay, it's quant for qualitative researchers. So you can call yourself a mixed methods, but not a quant. Not quite there yet. Then, yeah, exactly, Naj. Ethics, whoa. Project management, huge thing. You might think, oh, it's just logistics, but project management, believe it or not, can lead you to really impactful findings. Impact is the key word of UX researchers. Take a shot every time you hear the word impact. Right? You're gonna kill yourself. Don't do that, actually. All right. So number 9, the 9th module, is leadership and communication. Now we're getting to the point of, hey, we learned the research, we learned the rigorous methodologies, sample size, quantitative statistics, and analysis. Now, how do we communicate that? And how do we work with different people with different personalities? And also, learning a little bit about yourself, too. And finally, finally, the last module is like, all right, let's put it all together. Let me help you find a job. Let's go look at resumes, job hunt, fix up your portfolios. We'll do some mock interviews. And yeah. Yeah, it's the career module basically. All right. Cool. Now, you might be wondering, okay, well, how much is it? I hate talking about this. I don't like talking about price. It's really awkward. But at some point you're going to ask, and at some point I'm going to have to answer you. If you went to my website a year ago and looked at the number of hours that goes into this masterclass, I put 70 hours. I was like, actually, no. It's over 180 hours for the live 20 weeks. It is outside of a graduate, like a master's program for UX or HCI. This is, Zero to UX is the longest, most in-depth UX research training in existence. I'm not just saying that. I've done the research. This is 20 weeks is the longest program. General Assembly doesn't have this UX research. Springboard, not UX research. They're the programs for UX design, but yeah, we have 2 hours a week, well 2.5 hours a week of lecture, evenings. So if you're working a job 9 to 5, you could still come to class at nighttime. And think individually, work collaboratively. And I only have 10 students in class, so I make sure it's small. I also make sure I can give you the time of day, so that's why I keep it small. I don't want to take like 50 people just to get money. I want 10 people so I can really hone your skills and grow, help you grow. One of the big pulls, one of the main gripes I had about like boot camps in general is that, do we get to work on real practical projects, or are we just designing a dog grooming app, right? We work on real client projects. I'll show you who we worked with in the next slide. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't see your question, Naj. Will Module 9 cover topics such as running a project as a team lead? Great question. Yes. In UX, actually Module 4, 3, 4, 8, and 9 all talk about like how to run the research by yourself, and also with team members, as a solo researcher with product stakeholders, design stakeholders, and if you work in a team of multiple researchers, also how to do that. So in fact, a lot of the content that I have, now that I think about it, is assuming that you are one researcher supporting multiple stakeholders. So yes. Cool. Oh yes. Thanks, Abby. Yeah, we worked with MasterCard. Spoiler alert, we did work with MasterCard, and Abby was on that team. Awesome job. And yeah, I'll get to that in a bit, but Abby's team was great because I will have one-on-ones with you bi-weekly. So over 20 weeks, we'll have 10 calls. We could do anything. We could talk about anything you want. But I will also point out in class, like when I see your projects, I'll be really honest with you with empathy. I'm not gonna critique you. I'm gonna give you real feedback, because I'm sure everyone here has experienced someone giving you shit feedback. If it's shitty, it's critique. Is it constructive? Does it help you grow? Does it help you understand why you need to do a different process? If not, then that's not feedback. And that's what I strive to do. That's what I strive to do better at, is giving feedback on how you can improve. Okay, Slack channel with alumni. I try to bring guest speakers to class too, topics that I don't know enough of. Like product managers, we've had recruiters come to class and talk about what to do on your resume. And week 5, 2.5 hours of lecture, plus office hours, plus one-on-ones. And for all this, it's $9,200. Flexible payment options. You can ask me about it later as well. If and by the way, all of this is like in California time. So if you're in like Hong Kong or something, it might be difficult. But yeah, I had someone in the Philippines join my class, and it worked out for them because it just turned morning when it was nighttime here, so it worked out. So depending on your time zone. All right, $9,200. I think compared to other programs, which may be double in price, and not about UX. So anyway, I don't want to sell you on it. This is what I have, and you could decide for yourself. Small classes, one-on-one meetings. How I approach problems, first look at that, deep look at it. I'll even sometimes I share stuff that I shouldn't probably share, but yeah, I take out the confidential stuff, of course. But I really want you to see real UX research study plans from work. I want you to see real recruitment criteria from work, real comments from stakeholders. So we'll have that. One of the things I love doing is forcing students to role play. I'll ask them, hey, Abby, what if I don't believe your research? How would you respond to me? We'll do that live. We'll do that ad hoc. And I want to do more of that too. Since AI has made its waves since 2022, I've included some additional lessons about AI, using it for data analysis specifically. Memes, GIFs, analogies, of course, make it fun, and we get access to UX tools in the class. So look back, definitely we have it. UX Tick we've used in the past, and these are testing tools you could use to like conduct your user research when we do our projects. Okay, and let me know if I'm going too fast. Let me know if you have any questions in the meantime. But these are the partners we've worked with. Like, let me move that out of the way. Yeah, these are the clients we partnered with. Like I mentioned, I make it a point where we can learn in the class, make mistakes, build our own projects, and apply it to a real project, a real life project. And we worked with companies like MasterCard, Surfshark, Upwork, Warner Brothers, Skyhive, Surfshark, all these companies. And even some companies I can't show on here because the legal team wouldn't let me show it. So that there's more of these. So it's not Joe's Donut Shop down the street. Nothing wrong with Joe's Donut Shop down the week, because I think also helping small businesses kind of build their research practice takes a lot of leadership skills too. But yeah, I make these real projects so that you can learn and apply it. And these are some of the comments from the partners we've worked with too. User interviews and Pete from MasterCard. Okay. Okay, let's keep going. Oh yeah, and by the way, in these client projects, I try not to baby you too much. I will do the initial scoping, but you can ask Abby, like I will let the students run the meetings. They're talking to the stakeholders. Yeah, I want you to be the researcher, not Kevin, you. So that you on your resume, you can put, hey, I worked with the vice president of user research at MasterCard. That's pretty dope, right? So I gotta thank the clients as well for their partnership. So anyway, I'm only taking 10 students, and I think as of today, 6 or 5 spots left. So apply today. And that's all I'll say for that. The next cohort begins January 23rd. Application closes January 9th. And if you're unsure, you can always book a time with me. Reach out to me. We talk about it. Ask me any questions about it too. All right, and if you're not interested in the class, that's okay. In the live class, that's fine. I'm turning it into the whole class into a self-paced version, on-demand version. And I just wish I had more clones. Right? I couldn't do all the time zones. People from different countries wanted to do the live class. So I made it a point to turn everything into a self-paced class. And basically, that's the reason, this is the reason why Kevin has been gone from YouTube. Yeah. 500 lessons in a self-paced class. So let me show you a preview. Are you ready? Let me know if you're in the comments if you're ready for this. You're excited about it. If you're not excited, then maybe I won't show. But let's see. Oh, I gotta hype it up. Who's excited? I am, Kevin. All right, let me do this. I tried testing this in the live stream, but I don't know if you can hear the audio. So, yay! Oh, Faye, hey, Faye, I remember you. Mel, yes. All right, there you go. That's the excitement. Okay, so I'll show you the video. I don't know if the audio will come through. Just give me like a thumbs up or something, or a thumbs down, or Kevin, you suck, stream better, if you can't hear the audio. All right, so here we go. Oh, and by the way, this is, I won't show you the whole thing. This one's maybe like 3 minutes long. I'll show you maybe like a minute or two. Let me know if you want to see the whole thing. I'll show another video too. This is just a lesson. The course will be hosted on a platform called teachable.com. So it's not on Coursera, not on Udemy. It's going to be on teachable.com. All right, here we go. Let me know if you can hear the audio. Wait, I want to show you something. Pay close attention. Don't blink or you're going to miss it. Ready? Here we go. Whoa, did you see that? Huh. Ah, one dot was a different color than the other ones. Alright, I probably couldn't fool you. Okay, alright. Let's try another, shall we? Pay attention. This one's a bit harder. Oh, a square in a sea of circles. I like this. This is kind of fun, right? Let's do one last one because we like to have fun here, right? Get ready. Ooh, that one was hard. All right, what was it? What was the answer? One circle was misaligned. Okay, that was fun, but what does that have to do with psychology? What we just experienced was using our sight to detect signals, but they were so fast we probably didn't even have time to process the information. Our 5 senses are truly amazing abilities, and we're able to detect things before we even realize it, believe it or not. So let's go over how we process information in the world around us by going over the information processing theory by Atkinson and Shiffrin, came up with it in 1968. Side note, now, as with all behavioral models and theories, there are criticisms, and the Atkinson-Shiffrin model is not impervious to them. As researchers, we should be open-minded to all sides of the theories and sub-theories, but for the sole purpose of learning about, well, learning, we'll break down this particular one. So back to the lesson. So the theory suggests that human memory can... Okay. All right, so I know there's a little bit of lag from the live stream, just 'cause there's always a latency period. So the audio is a little bit off, but that's a preview of a lesson. The audio is, on my end, it's like, in sync. In sync. Haha. In sync or Backstreet Boys. Anyway. Yeah, so let me know what you think. This is just a lesson on perception psychology. And you'll recognize the background here. Does anyone want to see another video? Does anyone want to see another video? Oh, okay, yes. Let me see. This one. Okay, this is a. Sorry, this one's kind of still under editing, but hopefully you can hear it and see it. Again, the audio lag is going to come through because of the live stream, but here we go.
(1943), the height of the Second World War, and the B-17 Flying Fortress ruled the skies. It was a symbol of American ingenuity, power, and technological prowess. And when they flew over the skies, you'd hear them, and you knew that meant 5 .30 caliber machine guns, almost 5,000 pounds of bombs would strike fear into the hearts of many enemies. There was just one problem. One enemy that lurked in the shadows of the B-17. One enemy that caused the hundreds of mysterious crash landings. To solve this mystery of the crash landings, the Air Force employed the help of a young experimental psychologist. You might know the name, Paul Fitts. Yes, the same Fitts of Fitts' Law. Hundreds of incident reports for the B-17 would show up labeled as pilot error. And for decades, that was all the explanation that was needed. If the pilot crashed, it was their fault. They needed more training. But overwhelmingly, pilot error was to blame for only a few select aircraft. There were C-47s, DC-3s being flown, and those are just as big as these. But those pilots...
All right. Okay. There's some previews of the lessons. What'd you think? You could be honest. Yeah, so the audio, I wish you could see it in the real-time audio, but yeah. I told you were going to see that B-17 from that photo earlier. Literally went on a trip just to get a shot in front of the plane to talk about this lesson. These lessons are kind of the beginning of the master class. Later on, you're going to see me like share my screen, walk through how to actually like analyze on Miro, share my screen on how to do a study plan. And I actually took a few study plans from my students to review them and give feedback on the study plan, so you can see like the evolution of a draft to a final version. So yeah, I hope that was exciting. I'm really excited. I literally spent 4 years on this. I definitely took a waterfall approach to this with some minor tweaking, based on the feedback. Yeah. You're welcome to watch the video, the recording of this live stream later, screenshot, take a photo, share it out, get it excited. So, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Let me actually show you. I'm going to show you what Teachable, the Teachable UI kind of looks like. Here we go. So this is just a screenshot. It's just a mock. I did this on Google Slides, but you can kind of see what it looks like. This is what the teachable.com UI will look like. You got your lessons on the left, the video, the transcript beneath it, and then I'll definitely have a lot of quizzes and assignments for y'all to do. Okay. Abby, the best way to find out for updates and the release updates is to go to my website, 0toux.com, and sign up for my email list follow me on social media, Instagram at 0 2UX, LinkedIn as well. Find me on LinkedIn. Obviously YouTube, since you're all here as Badass UX Leaders. I will definitely announce it on all of these channels, but definitely the first people to know about it will be on the email list. So, and I have a little special treat for y'all as well. If you're interested in a live masterclass, come on over. I don't bite. Apply today. And let me move this here. There we go. Yeah, apply because there's only a few spots left. We have a client confirmed, by the way, and the client, I don't know if I can even say it, but I'll just tell y'all. We will have a repeat client for this next cohort. It is going to be Skyhive. And then I'm looking for more clients. And sometimes the difficulty with the live masterclass clients is the clients tend to plan quarterly, so they don't know what the project's going to be 3 months out from now. But yeah, I keep in touch with them, and I'll definitely get some client projects for y'all. Okay, so that's a masterclass. Apply today. Talk to me. Learn more about the class. Has any questions? If it's the right fit. I don't just, I don't take everybody because, I don't take everybody because like I'm not here to take your money. I want to make sure it's a good fit for you and your career goals. Self-paced class. Abby, thank you for asking. Sign up for my emails, 0tx.com/masterclass. Help spread the word. Tag me, 0tx, Kevin Liang, that there's a new UX Research Masterclass in town. It's coming 2024. And here's a special treat for y'all. The first 100 people to get the self-paced class, I'm going to give you 50% off. And if you're working at a company with education budget, you can use your company's money too. Okay? And also, let me know what you want to see, because I will also, these are paid, but Kevin, like, wow, don't sell out. No, I'm not. I will still make content on YouTube for you because I love supporting you, and that's my mission. It's just making sure that the knowledge of UX research is shared. So let me know what you want to see. Message me, email me, DM me. Yeah. Okay. So that's it for the info session. Now I'll open it up for some Q&A. Very cool. Very cool. Thanks. Thank you everybody for joining, by the way. You're awesome. Very cool. Let's see. We have questions from YC. Can we still work on a project with a real client if we do a self-paced course? Great question. So the content is going to be the same, if not more, I guess. Sorry, live class people. As you see, like in the self-paced, I will go to locations to do some fun recording clips. I made it kind of a fun thing for myself too, just to be more engaging. So I'm not in front of the camera I'm not in my office all the time. So all the content will be the same. And the self-paced class, even a live class, I update with new lessons like for a lifetime. So you will get access. I haven't decided, either like 2 years or lifetime. I think lifetime, but yeah. With the client project, that's the question, right? Everybody wants to work on a real client project. The problem with the self-paced class is I will try my best to like be active on Slack. If you get the self-paced class, you'll be part of a Slack channel too, where other people will take the class, so you can ask each other for help. I'm still deciding on maybe like a monthly call with me, or like a weekly Q&A kind of thing where I can review your work. So you get to interact with me still, and I can provide feedback. And I thought of some of my alumni who are now UX researchers can also be mentors for the class too. client project wise, I can't find a client project for like, someone might take the class today, someone might take the class in, April. So the client project is not going to be like there. That's the difference between the live and the self-paced class. Yeah. However, in the self-paced class, I will have assignments for you, and I really make it a point, like, what you put in is what you get out. If you want to work on a client project, I will have lessons on how to reach out to clients, where to look for projects. I'm actually trying to partner up with like some of like the UX Rescue, Catch a Fire, to see if they're willing to kind of like provide prompts. And one of the Slack members in my channel right now said, hey, what if we, UX researchers currently working, give prompts to people who can work on, actually building out a study plan? I'm like, that's a great idea. So maybe we'll come out with like real life prompts at work, so you can plan a study, and then the mentors and me can give you feedback. Cool. Thanks for the question. Now, how do I know if this class is for me? How do you screen for goodness of fit? Great question. So apply the steps to the application are you apply, and I asked you a couple of questions in the application, like what's your goals, what are you doing right now, what have you tried, and then we have a chat. Like you and I will speak face to face, 30 minutes, 45 minutes to learn more about you and your goals. You ask me any questions about the class, like any hesitations, and I look for people who have thought about it, like they know UX research is what they want to do. I want people who are like, they're not just looking as a silver platter to a job, or like silver bullet to a job. Because and this is a side thing, I don't do job guarantees. And any boot camp that guarantees a job guarantee, I'll just say it right now, that's BS. Okay, there's no job guarantee, but I do guarantee that I'm going to work 100% off my ass to help you get your job. Yeah, because I've turned people away because they've said like, oh, I need the money, or like I'm looking for a job in the tech world. I'm like, well, what do you like about UX research? And they couldn't tell me. They couldn't genuinely tell me. So I want people who are willing to kind of be like good students. Like, we're going to work with each other. This is a small class. You got to have that passion. And you have the humility to learn, and also get feedback, provide feedback, and learn from each other. That's why we have a small class size, is so we can learn from each other as well. So yeah, just apply. If you have more questions, feel free to find the time with me. CR2 UX, and you can use the 15-minute masterclass call. Cool. Great question, Knowledge. All right, Eva, I hope I'm saying that right. I remember your name. I recognize your name, though. Hi there. What will be the price of the self-paced class? That's something I'm still deciding, but it's at least going to be like 15, something like that. Let me type it in. Okay, like 1,500, but not final. And yeah, it's definitely not gonna be like a $10 class on Udemy. And yeah, 50% off for this for the first 100 people. I think, yeah, it's a lot of content that you could take with you for the rest of your career. So, great question. Any other ones before we wrap up here in a few minutes? By the way, like, thank you so much for all the questions. Thank you so much for joining. I haven't been. Hello, Lazolia. Thank you for joining. And better late than never. We're just wrapping up here, but the live stream will be on my YouTube channel. The recording will be on Saturday morning. The live stream will be recorded and posted on YouTube afterwards, so you can kind of check it right afterwards. So I'm happy you're here regardless. So it's good to see you. All right. Thank you, everybody. I think that's that's all I have today. I'm a little rusty on the live stream stuff, so thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed the preview of the self-paced videos. And don't worry, like, module 1 will be completely free. Everyone can access that. Some lessons will be free, and then some lessons I will actually take back to YouTube. Okay? Because I still want you all to get the content. When does the self-paced... Great question, Mel with love. I keep promising that I'm going to launch it this year, that year. I promise I'm going to get it out 2024, because right now I have all of the lessons recorded and I've sent it to the video editors. So what you saw just now was videos edited by the video editors, and I think they did a great job. So 2024 sometime. It just depends how quickly it's going to take them to edit. Luckily, they have a team of like 6 editors, so yeah, I don't want to say a time, but probably, hopefully, first half of 2024. First half. So stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram and whatnot to know when I will actually officially launch it. Thank you. Now, will there be an alumni channel for folks who... Yes, absolutely. Great question. Yes, monthly meetups with alumni. I get my alumni to meet the current students all the time, and then you can meet each other, ask each other questions. So yeah, definitely network opportunities, a ton of them. And yeah, we have alumni at like all those companies that you saw, all different locations. And yeah. One thing you can ask Abby, Neelam, like, even after the class, I chatted with Neelam, like, not too long ago. And my alumni, we had a meetup this past week, so we have it monthly. So yeah, after the class, it's not like goodbye, see you never. It's hello, I'm still here. Let me know how I can help you, and is there anything you want to share? So I'm always going to be here. Until the day I die, probably. Which, hopefully, knock on wood, I don't. So, yeah. Yes, you will get access to me, like, for life, basically. Yep. What can we do to catch up if we miss 1 or 2 classes? Good question, YC. So, great question. So, all the lessons will be recorded. All the lectures will be recorded. If you can't make a class, that's fine. Just give me a heads up and just watch the recording before the next one. And if you miss 2 o'clock, I've had people who had like weddings. I had people who are sick. Totally fine. If you need to miss it, I'm not going to make you go. But yeah, just watch the recordings and then come back to class. Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah, we have fun. I think we have fun. I think the 3rd cohort made a song with AI using my face. I think it was a little creepy, but I loved it. 2nd cohort, I remember the card y'all made for me. Oh, by the way, actually, let me show you something. Give me a second. Let me show you something that all the alumni get. Hang on a second. I'm trying not to turn into like some kind of merch store or anything like that, but for all the live people, I'm going to give you, here, ZDX. That is Serious Leader mug. Some stickers. I'll send some stickers for y'all. Like, obviously, don't come to class because of the stickers or whatever. Come to class to learn, but it's just a nice gift to give y'all, people, to give everybody. Lazolia. So as of today, there's 5 or 6 spots left. Yeah, so I'm only taking 10. So apply, have a chat with me, and it will start January 23rd, 2024. Thank you. All right. I'll take this one more question from YC, and then after we'll end it. But you know where to find me. You can DM me on Instagram. You can message me on LinkedIn. Email me. My email is this. Okay, another question about the project. How long is that going to take? Probably from which week? Okay, good question. So with the client project, I'm not going to have you start with a client right away. I'm going to train you up for 10 weeks, the first half, and then we're going to work with the client. So by the time we start the client project, that will be maybe end of January, February, March, end of March-ish. And how long the project will be depends on the client. So for one client, and Abby could tell you too, for one client, we've had 3 months with them. It wasn't supposed to be that way, but it ended up being 3 months. Another client project, we had 5 weeks. So it really depends on the project. Longer doesn't mean better. Shorter doesn't mean better. It just depends. Depends on the project, the project needs, and the impact that you can deliver. I have also tried to convince the clients that they have to pay the students. So last cohort we had Skyhive. They paid an honorarium for the students on that project. So it was like $500 per student. So yeah, some clients don't pay because of like legal reasons, but yeah, I try to convince them all to pay you for your work. Right, exactly. So the class might end in June, but your project might end, like July. And I will not stop, okay? So just because the class ends doesn't mean I'm not going to be like, okay, I'm not going to help you anymore. The client project is still a reflection on 0 to UX, so I want to make sure the project is good. I will still keep reviewing your work and make sure what we deliver is something that we're proud of to deliver. Great question. Cool. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining today. I really appreciate it. I know I haven't been here on YouTube in a long time, but I recognize some of your names. So glad that you've been supporting all this time. Really appreciate it. And I want to give back. So thank you so much. I'm looking at the live stream stats. We had about 106 people, different people total join. So that's really cool. And hope to see you for the class. Hope to see you for YouTube. Hope to see you whenever. Okay. So thanks again. Happy holidays, by the way. And if I don't see you before then, enjoy the new year. All right. I'll see you on 2024. It's going to be a good one. All right. Mad love. Peace, everybody. Thank you again. Woo woo.